Hello, Cheesehead. Something a little bit different for you today. As you may know, I am Seb and I am a football manager nut. Now, where do we start? This is Tottenham on Football Manager 23, which was released in the beta version last night. I have to admit, I got a bit excited. I had to have a play straight away and try and sort out the Tottenham team for this season. Now, we were given not a very big budget at all. Things are very different on Football Manager 23 this year. Straight away, the look of it is very different, and you have to find different areas in order to do the things that in the previous editions were quite simple to do. But we were given originally a budget of 25 million, and we were given a squad that probably I would say isn't as good in Football Manager as I would think that it is in real life. So the ability ratings and the potential ratings at first look, I would say, aren't great. So obviously, if we look at the squad originally, there was Harry Kane, who I would imagine with that rating is one of the, or if not the best player on Football Manager, closely followed, as you would expect, by Son. Interestingly, next up is Ivan Perisic. Now, the problem that I have with Perisic, and you can see here I've put him as sub already, is this. He is primarily a wing back. That is his ideal position, according to Football Managers, why it's in bright green. However, he's 3.5 stars playing as a wing back. He's rated better as a winger. However, I have Son playing there. He can play other positions. He can play striker, obviously not very well. Can play on the right-hand side, again, as 3-star, but not something that I'd really fancy him doing. Next up is Basuma, and then you can see a couple of players that I've bought in. Now, first one was Alessandro Bastoni. I still felt, and you will see further down, that the defensive options were not rated very good. Perhaps most disappointingly is Romero, who is only 3-star. Could get to 4-star, but only 3-star. I bought him in for £50 million. It was 100% on the never, never. So I think I put 20 million down and 30 million over quite a few years. And the same with Di Lorenzo to play and fulfill that attacking right back role. I think I bought him in for 31.5 million. Again, Football Manager still haven't appeared to sort out the Italian licenses. That was a surprise to me. I think Parthenope is obviously Napoli, and a little bit odd, a little bit disappointing as well. If I'm honest, I expected a few more badges and a few more correct names. But be that as it may, Di Lorenzo signed for 31.5 million. If we go further down, we have Longley, obviously, and then my next addition. Now, found this very, very unrealistic, but I managed to sign Ansu Fati, who is obviously only 3-star at the moment, but you can see 19 years old, potential ability, very, very highly rated. And I signed him for 35 million quid, which was absolutely ridiculous and very unrealistic. Going further down, we have Eric Dyer. Kulusevski, again, I expected him to be higher rated than that. 3-star is quite disappointing. Ben Davis, Højbjerg, Richarlison, again, only 3-star. Romero, only 3-star. Romero's stats for me, just bear with me 1 second. I have to call you back. Bye. Romero's stats, sorry about that. Romero's stats, certainly aggression. I think we expected that. And look, heading, marking, tackling, jumping reach, not great. I think they've undermarked him again on Football Manager, something that is quite common with Tottenham players. Another one underrated, I would say, is Bentancur, who every edition on Football Manager that I can remember, certainly for the last 3 years, has been a 4-star midfielder at Juventus and a player that often when he was at Juventus, found his way into the Premier League quite commonly at Manchester United, just in kind of automatic transfers that the game put in place. He has his stats have fallen. I don't know why Football Manager seem to do this, especially with a player that that has seemingly to me improved since he left Juventus. And he's a 49 cap international. I'd expect better. So again, disappointing. Just kind of reconfirms that we need midfield reinforcements, which unfortunately, with the signings that I've made, I've got no money left. So we are going to have to go with Højbjerg, Bentancur, and our best midfielder, Bissouma. Lloris Sanchez, who I'm about to sell for 11 million, and Brian Hill. Matt Doherty, who I've tried to sell but won't go. The highest bid I had was 2.5 million from an Asian team. Sessegnon. Bear with me 1 second. Sessegnon, Oliver Skip. Sorry about that. Oliver Skip. Emerson Royale, who is deemed to be quite poor. But I might well give a chance to, because I'd rather keep a 23-year-old and his value is higher than Matt Doherty. And then Fraser Forster, and I've put Alfie Devine into the first team squad. I'm trying to sell Lyons Foster. I don't know why he was in the first team squad. And Brandon Austin. Transfer-wise, this is what I have done. So, obviously, some of these will be what the game has done. So, obviously, Fraser Forster, Eva Bissouma, Romero, Richarlison, Spence, Perisic, and Udogie. I have no idea who this lad is. Someone might want to tell me that, but we appear to report him from Reading. We bought that goalkeeper, Josh Keeley, from St Pat's in Ireland. He's highly rated, or let's see what the game thinks. Maybe not. This is where it falls down a little bit. I'd love to know who provides these rankings. It's definitely someone connected with the club. Every club on Football Manager has someone who's connected with the club in some way, or at least has very good knowledge of the club. From what I heard, Josh Keeley is a very highly rated goalkeeper. So to have him on 1 star with a potential of 2, not sure where they've got that from. Lancashire from Sheffield United, again, highly rated. Lots of teams after him before we signed him. 1 star with a possibility, with a likelihood of 1.5 up to 2.5. I mean, that's nothing. He'll end up leaving the club. Longley on loan, and then as you can see, the 3 players that I bought in. So Di Lorenzo, 33.5 million. Fati, 42. Bastoni, 50. And then let's look at the ones that we've got out. Obviously, again, these are the ones that happen in real life. Carter Vickers, Craig, Sam Cox, Amoli, Lavigne, Oluwemi, Lotala, Lusala, Jack Clark, Franco, Kiona Tete, Bergvine, and then some youth team players. I wasn't aware of these 2 players that we sold to Southampton. And then a lot of loans out. Lo Celso, Winks, Rodham, Parrott, Udogie, Region, Ndombele, Scarlett. And then the work that I've done. So just to add one thing, these players on loan, some of them are quite decent. And Ndombele is a 3-star midfielder. You can't recall these players as per their agreements. You can't go in and cancel that. I then loaned Jed Spence to Almeria. That was the only club that came in for him. I wanted him out on loan. He's rated 2-star, I believe, to start with. Exciting young prospect who isn't far from first team level, but these stats, they really don't cut it. They also have him down as being able to play anywhere on the right-hand side, which is quite handy. I'll probably say that if you were a championship club, he's a man that you go for, try and get on loan. He can play anywhere along that right-hand side. But these stats really for Premier League, they're no good. So hopefully he goes out on loan and gets better. If I'm honest, I can't see it. I think Football Manager have made Jed Spence a bit of a dud. Lucas Moura to Inter Milan for 12.25 million. Jafet Tanganga out to Club Brugge for 10 million. Jamie Bowden, youth team player, Sheffield United. I loaned Pape Sarr to Cardiff, which wasn't really what I wanted to do. I think he could be okay, even though he's 2, only going to 2.5 star. He did well in a couple of pre-season games, which I'll show you in a bit. but I felt it was best that he went out on loan. Jamie Donnelly, who is extremely highly rated. So that's Jamie Donnelly, 17-year-old Northern Ireland striker. I mean, look, even here, this 15 to 22 million. He's one of the most highly rated players in the game, your young players in the game. So this is getting to be Son and Kane level if he fulfills his potential. Historically, Jamie Donnelly on FM22, I gave him a few chances in the first team after a couple of years. He did okay, and I think I ended up selling him for about 30 million. So really, I think he's highly rated. I don't think he'll break into the first team and be a mainstream first team player. What you're trying to do there is get him out on loan this year in League Two, probably next year in League One, year after that Championship, like a real life Dane Scarlett, I guess, or Troy Parrott. Build that value up and then eventually sell. And Pascozzi, who has gone to Morecambe, and I've basically been informed that he will not have his contract renewed because of the work permit issues around him. So that's the transfer business that I've done. As I said, we are essentially ready to play our first game, league game. We've played the pre-season friendlies. Let's have a look how they went. So games very close together to start with, and obviously won them all and quite convincingly. Sheffield Wednesday played a decent team and then made all the changes, as you can see. Son, Kane, Kulusevski and Davis all scoring. Peterborough, a little bit tougher, I guess. Perisic and Kulusevski again. Barnsley here, again, very convincing. No issues there, as you'd expect. Kulusevski again and Harry Kane. Plymouth, which is the first one. And what I tend to do on pre-season friendlies is take control of a few, make sure that in the early ones that the players are getting fit. And then I leave it to the assistant manager because sitting through Spurs v Plymouth in a pre-season friendly isn't my idea of fun as much as I love Football Manager. So here, Richarlison, Kane, Son, you can see we're starting to play much more first-team players here as they get fitter. Oxford, again, a few changes, giving Brian Hill a chance. Harry Kane got a knock. Fortunately, he was only out for 8 days. I then cancelled a pre-season friendly because some of the players actually looked quite tired. Obviously, we're playing 2nd of July, 4th of July, 7th of July, 9th of July, 12th of July. So I gave them a little bit of a rest, got Kane back fit for the big home friendly against Real Madrid, which we won, and we won well. It was quite convincing. Fati scored on his debut. I think the other one may have been an own goal. So this was quite impressive. Yeah, an own goal here after 9 minutes. Morale was good after that, which is very important going into the start of the season. Hastily arranged another friendly against Feyenoord because even though I'd given them a rest, they all then started to look like they weren't fit. So played another one against Feyenoord. Di Lorenzo with the first goal for the club, Kane and Brian Hill. And then a final pre-season game away at Besiktas. Again, kind of changing it up a little bit here. Doherty coming in, Sanchez, who's about to lead the club, coming in. Alfie Devine with a start, Oliver Skipp with a start. So not quite the first team, but still a 1-1 draw. And again, a last-minute goal, which is good in terms of fitness for pre-season. As you can see, the first game of the season coming up very, very shortly is Manchester United away. Tough place to start. Now, let's have a look at the tactics and what I've decided to do. I had a good look at this and I made the decision, as you can see, that I'm going to play 4 at the back. Bit of a surprise maybe, but what I felt was that you in Football Manager, not necessarily in real life, in Football Manager, I think 3 at the back or potentially 5 at the back is a waste. We want to score goals. We've got the players in order to score goals, as we've covered. Kane, absolutely fantastic. And his ranking is fantastic. I'm just going to have a look at his position, though, because he's rated 5-star, but I'm playing him as a deep line forward attack, and it's actually reduced his star rating. I am all about star ratings, okay? Maximise the players, play to their strengths, play to the way that they want to play. So he needs to be in a support role to get that 5-star. I'm not quite sure about